getting ready for the con second day, and the first day could have gone a little better. It was a little slow because there were a few things going on in town, and the con just it grew in size this year, so it was a little bit more spread out. I don't think they were planning for it to be quite as big, but since it's growing, I mean, you got to build that fan base. Hopefully, I think everybody was basically thinking today was going to be a better day. Hoping so. It's not nearly as crowded as Wizard World was earlier this year, obviously. They had a lot more events and stuff going on, but it's pretty decent. I'm excited about today. I haven't seen many. Well, I'm not surrounded by print makers. I don't think there's many print per se of people like just making fan art and whatnot. There are fan arts of things, but much more intricate than just printing off prints. You got, sorry about those flashing lights. You've got people that are doing airbrush work, people that are writing books themselves. There's a bindery, a couple different book making places, printing places. There's a few fine art, like people actually doing paint and brush as well. At this con, I think I'm surrounded by a couple different painters and a couple comic illustrators. I got talking to one last night about him and his friend writing their own story and outsourcing the artwork, and we got talking about Kickstarter and whatnot. Had a good conversation with him. I will post a link down below. Their comic is called Eclipse. I'll double check. I will also have it today. I'll snag that from them, and then I'll show it off in the second part of this update. Yeah, yesterday was just kind of an off day for me as well. Came down to set up Friday evening. Got here in town about 6 o'clock. Took about an hour and a half to set up what little I did set up. Figuring I'd be there in the morning, and it was. So got out of there about 8 o'clock and went and saw the new Bond movie, which I dug, but that I got out of that about 11:30 with an hour and a half drive home. Put it at 1 o'clock. Got caught up on the day, stupidly. I don't know why I stayed on the internet as long as I did, but finally got to bed about 3 o'clock and had to get up at 5 o'clock. I don't even think I slept that whole time. I think maybe I got an hour, 45 minutes of sleep, and then was just dragging all day. Took off 5:30, and after an hour and a half drive, made it here, set up the rest of my stuff, and it's just a slow day. I pitched it to quite a few people. One of the highlights was Corey Taylor from Slipknot showed up. I pitched to him and knocked it out of the park. Hopefully he'll be back today to pick it up. He was just making his start of the entrance, but I don't know. Having a lot of fun, talking to quite a few people. Like I said, it was kind of slow yesterday, but hoping it'll pick up today. I have kind of a cluttered table, so I think I'm gonna take it down to just bare minimum. Have the books up there. I have posters and postcard prints up right now, and I think they're just cluttering more than helping. So I'm gonna take all that stuff off, basically swap backdrops, and have the books up there. So we'll see if it helps. I don't know. We'll see though. Hope the weekend's treating you all well. Hopefully I can throw some more pictures in here. I took some pictures Friday night while I was setting up, but I didn't take any yesterday. But it's just a slow day, working on everything. I did get half of the 5th issue roughed up, so I'm excited about that. Probably work on a little more today. Hopefully I won't get a chance to, because it'll be too busy and I'll be pitching my book to too many people, but it's going well. There's something that nobody talks about is how draining cons are. I got some hotel, a little hole in the wall place, nice bed and everything, but that's pretty much all I needed. And I was trying to catch up on the day, and I was falling asleep checking out things on the internet, and I fell asleep with my phone in my hand, and woke up about 3 o'clock, checked out some more things, passed right out. So that's gonna do it for this update. It is 9 o'clock in the morning. I have these stupid paper wristbands that my wrists are almost too big for. So con day number 2. Checking with you later. Peace. So these last couple days have been a whirlwind. This last bit I recorded in the hotel room Sunday morning after getting a nice rest. Let me put this all out into perspective for you. So Friday night I went down to Des Moines, hour and a half drive. Got there, set up, saw Spectre. That took me till midnight. Got home probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Slept for about an hour maybe, and was right back to Des Moines. Those are the time lapses you saw. Was that first night going to Des Moines. Then Saturday wasn't that well received, and then Sunday was even a worse day. I believe everybody was banking on Sunday being a better day, but it seemed that people just weren't showing up. And then yesterday I just it's probably started halfway through the weekend that I was spiraling into a little depression. I didn't have that good of sales this weekend. Well, not any sales really to speak of. But it just sent me into a whirlwind of doubt and depression, and maybe this was all for naught, and maybe I should just throw everything else to the wind and focus on the comic. But I figured this is exactly the point I want to be at. Pushing myself so hard that I am questioning it and pushing myself to go even further. I feel like I'm right on that cusp of the breaking point where I've been talking about I wanting to be, and especially getting all those thoughts out of my head. If you're unaware, I put up a blog yesterday. I wasn't going to link it, but I did link it on my Facebook and Twitter, and I've gotten a few messages from people saying they appreciated me and my open candor. I really genuinely hate that blog just because it's just me complaining, and I didn't have any good ways to go about helping my situation. It was literally me just being down about things not working out the way I wanted to them. I watched a few videos on how to get some things turned around, and Now I'm in a much better space, and now I'm going to put my nose to the grindstone and actually get some work done on the comic. I almost have the preview pages finished up, colored, and then I have to get together and put the sketch pages together. I've got to rewrite the story for that, design the page layout for the pictures that I'm going to be putting in there as well. And then on top of that, kind of just have to generalize working out the last few remaining pages, like a thank you page, the copyright page layout, whatnot, and how I want to do the sketch page. The sketch page is definitely going to rely on the Kickstarter campaign. If it starts to pick up, and I see that the Kickstarter page is probably going to be half full, so this is the third issue, and I was thinking about putting a space right here for the sketch, and taking the 2 pages I have out in the front, because for the first 3 issues I have 2 pages dedicated to sketches. With the book getting bigger and better, I have to collapse a couple pages, kind of rework some, and figure out how they lay out just a little bit better, to make the whole book flow better. And I really think that making sure the area for a sketch isn't necessarily taking up as much space as it is. I appreciate having these first 3 issues with that space for those sketches, but as the comic progresses, I definitely want to streamline it and make it the best comic I can put out. And 4th is definitely going to show off. I think it's going to be the tip top of where I want to be with the comic, at least for the next few issues. I'll figure out more along those lines afterwards. I'm throwing up a couple new tiers into the Kickstarter, getting all of that straightened out, and then running with that. I've got to put a new video onto the Kickstarter. Hooray for being cut off by phone calls. The only downside of using your cell phone to record these videos. Anyway, like I was saying, if you have any suggestions or comments or anything, tier rewards or something like that, throw those suggestions down below. I'll take a look at them, possibly throw them up. Yeah, a lot of work to do on the 4th issue yet. Hope to have it finished by this week. Shouldn't be a problem doing that. I'm putting off the paintings till next week. I was hoping to get them up to Minnesota to get them scanned, but to no avail. I don't have the money for making prints and stuff like that, so I'm not going to concern myself with that right now. Main focus is going to be getting 4th issue done and finished so I can have it out by Christmas for sure. Yeah, that's going to do it for me today. Expect to see a couple more videos this week. Also, there's a couple new people doing the 100s. Melanie and Jan, I'll throw their links to their videos, channels on YouTube. I believe Jan's going to be doing his daily. I think Melanie's doing every other day or so. But check those guys out. They look very intriguing, and I'm excited to see what work they have coming out of all their stuff. Yeah, I'll elaborate. The more I know about them, be sure to check them out, because I'm going to be pushing them pretty hard the next couple videos. So, love you guys. Appreciate all the support and everything you've been giving me. Check out the 4th Kickstarter for the 4th issue of I Never Forgot. I'll put the link down below for that, as well as any other fun links down below that I might have forgotten about. But now I will show you a time lapse that I took at the con. You can see just how dead and sparse it was. It had its moments, but for the most part there just weren't that many people The aisles, I think, were 10 feet across. I mean, it was just, I don't know. It was a pretty good mess. We'll say that about it. It was comfortable, but I think it was a little too comfortable. But either way, I got some work to do, and I'll get to it. Hope you're enjoying your week, and everything's going right. And yeah, check in with you soon. Later.